What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's going on, y'all? I got my air on full blast, so if y'all hear some stuff in the background, that's just what you hear. Meanwhile, we are here for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, let me just tell you something. I didn't crack and I didn't went in on this show all this season. Well, half of the season so far. I have, because they done had some good episodes and they done had some episodes where I was just like, girl, what is this? I almost felt that way about this episode because, girl, I don't care about this Black Expo. All right, but what I will say is this. So y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna give us the good stuff in the second half? Y'all gonna give us the good stuff in the second half? Because baby, that's when the stuff started getting good. Okay, I saw that little preview and I said, oh, y'all trying to keep me in the fold. It ain't gonna work, but y'all trying to keep me in the fold. Okay, maybe I'm gonna look forward to the second half because I really want to see this whole thing about Kiki. Now, Kiki came on here, I think it was last week or the week before, talking about something. She's still taking methadone or whatever because she almost a year into her recovery. Girl, they said Kiki got arrested. I said, girl, you was out there shoplifting. Martell, what's his name? Marcel up there talking about some, it's them drugs. Them drugs, you don't want me to keep on calling you a drug head. Get off them drugs. And you know what? The whole time I was looking at that thing, and I'm sorry, this may be a little rude and insensitive, but the whole time when this whole drug and addiction conversation was coming up, and especially when Marcel said, get off them drugs, you want me to call you a drug head and all that stuff. The whole time the song, Your Mama's on Crack Rock. No, she not. Look that up. Look that up. The stuff that we used to listen to back in the day. Yo mama on crack rock. I said, girl, what? Ooh. And when she threw that drink on Letitia, girl, it was probably deserved. But then again, I really don't care. Moving on from there. We get back into this episode. Mind you, I just want y'all to know this is the mid-season finale. It's coming back in September, okay? And I'm going to assume that they're going to bring back Love and Marriage DC and finish that out. Truth be told, I forgot what happened on the last season of Love and Marriage DC. I'm not even trying to hold you. I'm not even trying to lie to you. I literally forgot, and I do not want to go back and watch it, okay? We'll just pick up where it left off. Meanwhile, picking up where we left off, this is season 6, episode 15, Give Black to the Community. So Stormy and Marcel still going back and forth. And it was very much irritating me the way that Marcel was coming at Stormy and being very much condescending with her feelings and the way that she's talking and not listening and just like, okay, if that's what you feel, but, $100 and all this stuff and woo. It was just really irritating the way that he was talking. And I can't wait for Courtney to sit down and to tell him, you need to stay out of women's business. Now, before somebody say, well, you was here for him being in that whole situation with Tiffany and Martell, that was different. Because again, he was not there to be up in that situation. He just so happened to be there, and Martell sprung that stuff on him, and it really wasn't about him. It was an issue between Tiffany and Martell, and Tiffany did the offense. But in this moment, he was the one that did the offense. She told her man, and he gonna take care of it. And I mean, hey, she said what she had to say, and now her husband gonna say what he had to say. I see absolutely nothing wrong with it, and plus it's Marcel, so who gives a damn? All right, moving on from that. I just didn't like the way I just didn't like it. Okay, I didn't like it because at the end of the day, I try to give leeway to people, especially when you're first starting stuff, because sometimes when you start out a project or whatever, and especially if it's your first time throwing an event or trying to throw something that you want to do multiple times, just keep it going each year, you're gonna have some little nooks and crannies where it's not gonna go right, and this probably needs to be fixed, and you learn it. It's a learning experience, it's trial and error. But in this particular part, I tried to give that to them last week and say, yeah, they're going to have their little bumps and bruises into the, getting into this because this is their first expo that they putting together, but maybe next year they can take what they, messed up this year and fix it and expound upon doing things a little bit better and, so it can run a little bit more smoother next year. I'm going to take that back. I'm gonna take that back, because after looking at what went on this time, it's like a lot of the mistakes that was happening, and giving y'all already know that, just in case, I'm coming from a business person, a business perspective, because I that's what I went to school for. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the things that went down is very amateurish. It's very like remedial. It's very much business 101 that you should have already known. You don't even have to go to a business school. You don't even have to have a business degree. Baby, it's all about being professional and having everything planned out to the T, okay? And giving details. You know what I'm saying? You don't lack on this and lack on that. You got too many vendors there. I'm pretty sure you didn't tell people how much space that they were going to be able to use, because if you did, Stormy wouldn't have had that big old wall in the back. Then you get Tiffany coming there. Tiffany and the Whitlows, okay? Tiffany and what's Big Lou. Baby, we forgot all about them. We literally forgot all about them. And at one point, Tiffany was up in her feelings because Tiffany felt like, you know, because somebody came over there and asked them, was they speaking? They was like, wait a minute, I just found out about this the other day. So nobody asked me to speak. Nobody asked me to be on the panel. Nobody asked me to do nothing. All right. And at this point, I said, that's really dumb, because we do know that Tiffany is in business. I mean, Tiffany was in the, you know, what is it? The chambers of Congress or whatever it was. And, you know, doing other stuff. And it was just really oversight, or you did that on purpose. Now, it makes me mad because they gonna make me try to defend Tiffany and Big Lou, whatever. And I don't really with them like that. But in this case, you really needed all of them. And especially given the fact that Melody wasn't gonna be there, how come you couldn't have the Whitlows on there? And you literally said at the end that you knew that Big Lou was up in entrepreneurship. And you got people that asking questions about entrepreneurship that he could have answered. You got people asking questions about venture capitalism, and I'm sitting here looking like, Marcel don't know the answer to that. I was like, no, that's not it. That's not it. You know, and me and Tiffany just said, listen, look at him. Look at him. He don't even know how to answer the question. He don't know what it is. He's not prepared for stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't his field. And it's better, and it would have been good if you would have had people in a whole bunch of different type of fields within business, and having Tiffany and Big Lou up there would have helped too. Okay, you couldn't get Melody up there, so get Big Lou. You got Courtney up there. I mean, how come you couldn't get Big Lou and Tiffany? I didn't understand why they was excluding them in the first place. And granted, I understand that, you know, Tiffany 9 months pregnant or whatever, she's supposed to be on bed rest, but obviously she sacrificed or whatever to come there to be that. Truth be told, Tiffany just came because she knows. Tiffany came, in all honest opinion, Tiffany showed up because she wanted to see if this thing was going to go through or if it was going to fail, so she could have her talking points, so she can get some critique and give her unwanted and unasked opinion about what happened, because that's exactly what went down when they went to the they had that little sit down and, at the end. She was like, you know, I got some critiques. I said, girl, Now, see, I feel like she was being a little bit petty, but then again, that's Tiffany. That's just how she is. She gonna give you stuff that she didn't ask, nobody asked you for. All right, I didn't ask you for my no critiques. Okay, that's girl. What? That's why you ain't talk. Okay. But anyway, she feeling some type of way, and I'm not even mad at it. I'm not even mad at it because at the end of the day, this whole thing was very much unprofessional. You got Martell showing up, and he instantly see this gentleman. I think his name was Leonardo or Leo. Girl, we gonna call him Leo. Leo. We gonna call him Leo. Okay. And he was, you know, doing this 360 mentorship or whatever. So he's talking to him about his brother. And wanted to get that situated. What irritated me about Martell irritated me this whole episode, because I know I said last week he must have CTE. I don't know. And I'm not even trying to be funny, because I'm just trying to come up for an excuse to explain the dumbness that comes out of him. And I really feel at this point, the main reason, I do feel like Martell did love Mel. I don't necessarily know if he was in love, But I do know that he loved her. But I also feel after looking at some of the things that happened, one of the reasons why he wanted to get back with Melody and hold on tight with her, because he knew he couldn't survive that much. I mean, he could survive, but he knew he wasn't going to be as successful and didn't know what he was doing without her, especially on the business front. And this whole episode put that out there. I'm sitting here like, why are we so concerned about Melody? How about you be concerned about yourself? Maurice asked him, did you bring your wine, the Inez wine? You know what? No, I didn't bring the wine. You know, I just figured like, it's been getting a whole bunch of stuff, and I had so many, parties for it or whatever, and, grand openings for it and all this stuff. And so I just figured like, let somebody else get their shine on it. I said, what the? That is not what you do in business. You don't give a leg up to the competition. What? I'm sitting here like, baby, we trying to get more people out here to talk about it. Now, what are you talking? Like, nigga, who is drinking Inez wine? That was a good opportunity for you. This is a Black Business Expo. At an expo, you bring the product that you are promoting. You could have brought your cookbook. You could have brought the fact that you were about to have this soup line coming out. You could have brought the darn wine, okay? Like, and you could, speaking of, where's she Basharay? You could have brought some of her stuff. All right, y'all see me on the blogs. And I asked a valid question because it was a little preview of a clip that came out for the episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta that's coming out tomorrow. And I said, real question, and I was being really serious. Now, y'all know me to be shady. And that's just how I am a little bit, but I do it with fun shade, you know what I'm saying? But I was being real serious because I really wanted to know who actually was able to buy some She Basharay. And if you really brought some, post a picture and let me see. You know what I'm saying? I said, Martell don't even advertise her stuff. Girl, you got a shout out from Rihanna, Robin Fenty, and you still couldn't succeed. That is sad. That is sad. You ain't even got your man walking around. I said, Martell, that's because y'all ain't together like that. That's because y'all ain't together like that. Because ain't no way in here I'm going to see my woman out here doing her thing, and I'm not going to support. I'm not going to promote it. I'm not going to put it on my Instagram and on my social media, and I'm not going to walk around in her stuff. Girl, please, okay? Now, when they had asked him, so where the special guest at? He was like, what you talk about? It was like, you mean Sheree? I mean, she out there in California, I haven't spoke to her, phone died, and it was a whole bunch of stumbling lies, bumbling, dumbling. I said, oh, so y'all not together. He won't call her his girlfriend because that is not his girlfriend. He called her his friend girl. I mean, we still communicate. And when he was in that confessional, and the way that he was talking about her and their situation, is very much not talking. He never speaks on it as if they were together, as if they are a couple or even a situationship. He literally speaks on it as if they are associates, that we just, if we come across each other, we come across each other. And if we wind up, talking to each other on the phone, we talk to each other on the phone. We just friends. That's what it was giving, okay? And I said, everybody was doing this like, read between the lines, y'all ain't together no more. Girl, Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here like, you are just really dumb. Because ain't no way. I said, what are you there for? What are you there for at the expo besides the fact that they want you to get up there on that panel and speak? What are you there for, and what are you speaking on? Because, baby, what have you done that's successful outside of Melody on your own recently? You ain't even got your builder's license yet. And you worried about your brother. Baby, you about to get evicted out the house because the house is up here being sold and you need to find a new place to stay. And you up here at this expo playing around. And then, Melody showed up with Marcus, her brother. She said she did have some performances and stuff to do earlier. And she did tell Tisha, I wasn't going to come in and actually be involved in the expo, but I will come in to support. Hey, how you doing? Go buy some stuff. And I like that because she didn't have to show up at all. Because Ashley wouldn't. I'm dead serious. Ashley wouldn't. And it was just really irritating me because, Marcus did ask, how is Martell going to be there? How are you and Martell? All of that stuff or whatever. And then when they get there, because he was trying to fill out the atmosphere so like he can know which way to move. And when they get there, And we see Marcus saying hey to everybody, but then when him and Martell have a little conversation, you could tell that it was one of those conversations where I don't want to be seen like I'm being petty or whatever and trying to ignore him on purpose, which I really am. Let me say that I can be the bigger person and actually go over here and say hello if he say hello and all that stuff and engage in a little bit of conversation. Even though I can't stand his gut, we both can't stand each other. And Marcus kept it real. You know, it is what it is. How you doing? And y'all can get along and all that stuff. How you feel like y'all doing? Martell is in a land of delusion, okay? Because the way he answered that was like, I feel like we could get on the same page. Like, you know, after it's been years, 3 years of separation, and I feel like, you know, we can get there. I said, no, y'all can't. With all the stuff that's been going on, it's like he literally blocks out the things that he has done and continues to do to make this girl, this woman, feel the way that she feels and respond and react to him the way that she does and block him the way that she does and make it seem as though that is non-existent and we can just put that to the side and we can still just be cordial with one another and we can be cool and everything will be all right. No, sir, that's just not how it's going to be. Okay, he takes no accountability for the things that he's done. All right. And then he was like, you know, as long as got your support. Marcus said, what? It was like, yeah, supporting Melody and you know, with the kids and all that stuff. He was looking like okay. It was the way Marcus was looking. His facial expressions had me rolling like, nigga, please. Okay, you got your nerve to talk about support, talking about some y'all on a good page or whatever, and then had the nerve to say that Marcus is being immature and he still feels some type of way about Marcus, about this and about that. I said, what you need to feel some type of way about Marcus for? At the end of the day, Marcus don't owe you anything. Marcus don't have to like you. Marcus don't have to kiss your butt. Marcus ain't got to be friends with you. Marcus don't got to feel you or nothing because did you forget the way that you treat Marcus and the way that you treat his sister? You're homophobic towards him. Let's not forget that. And I'm so glad they played the tape back. You're homophobic towards him, but you just won't say it. But you say it indirectly, okay? And then seeing the way that you know, you treat his sister. You've been treating his sister, especially in social media, and taking her to court and doing all of this stuff. And you know for damn sure he don't care about your ass now, given this whole revenge plot situation that's going on. Oh no, boo-boo. Y'all are not in a good place, and y'all will never be in a good place for a while. Okay? You burnt too many bridges, my brother. Too many bridges. And so at this point, we get Kimmy showing up. I don't understand why Kimmy had a booth. She told Mel, they got me all the way back. I said, they got you all the way in the back because, girl, we don't know what you do. I thought you was a nurse. I know she do a little bit of realty or whatever, but, or do she do realty or do she do credit too? Like, girl, I don't even know. I do know it was really nice to see the scene where the lady was talking to her about, you know, it was good that she put out there her story about her illness and being sick and all that stuff because it helped people. And I really do feel like that does happen because, you know, you hear somebody on TV, that's just how it is. You hear a person that's of a certain stature or got some type of notoriety talking about certain health issues or whatever, that will make people or some people go get help or go get themselves checked out. So I believe that, and that was like the good moment. Meanwhile, we get Martell brother who came up on Mel and his wife, you know, and I do like the connection that Mel and Montez have with each other. And I like the fact that Mel did not, you know, basically throw him to the side just because she and Martell are no longer together and Martell is being an asshole towards her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, in the fact that he understands. Because he said, you know how my brother is. I need you to just hang up in there and everything's going to be all right and all that stuff. And the fact that both of them was just like so emotional with each other, I said, oh, that makes me look at myself. Because, girl, if let me tell you something. I know somebody gonna be like, girl, you need to go get that looked at. You need to go sit down and talk. No, I'm just that, like, when I say I can cut a person off, and if I'm with you and and we're no longer together, baby, I don't want to have no type of association with you or yours. I don't want, girl, we ain't, no. I don't want to talk to your mama no more. I don't want to talk to, and it ain't me being fake or nothing. It's just, why do I need to talk to you? I had this relationship continue with you. Yeah, I liked you at the point, but you know, that's like a little trauma, and that's like a little reminder of what was, and I'm never going back to that. So I ain't finna get your hopes up. I ain't finna get your family hopes up, and we ain't finna be friends. We ain't finna be friends. That's just me. That's just me. They may be a little harsh, and they actually got some things to work on. I know, you know, the first step to admitting that there's a problem is to actually say it. And that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm therapizing myself. Meanwhile, Stormy worst fears and came true this whole time. Because when she was cussing out Marcel, she said, listen, I gave my time, okay? While you up here talking about $100 and all this stuff, I'm up here tired as hell giving my time when I could be over here at the warehouse because we got this multi-million-dollar shipment that needs to be taken out. I said, you better talk your stuff. Now, see, I was 100% on Stormy's side these 2 episodes. Because Stormy was talking about business. All right, Stormy said, listen, I ain't get to be this status where I am by up here doing half-ass stuff, okay? That's just not what it is. And y'all, I'm seeing y'all doing half-ass stuff. That's just why I'm coming to you the way that I'm coming to you, and it's irritated me because all of that and the way that they was running that, oh my goodness, it would have irritated me to no end, and I would have had an attitude the whole time. I wouldn't have been able to fake it or nothing like that. Meanwhile, she up here trying to make sure everything running smoothly up in that warehouse, and come to find out they over there mislabeling stuff, and she was like, ain't this about some shit? And you know, it just feels like the situation where if I am not there, things are not gonna run smoothly. Baby, I feel that way when I'm at work. I feel that way when I am at work because I every time, it never fails. I don't care if I'm off for a day. I come back the next day that I'm off like it is my mandatory giving day off. And I come back, why is stuff messed up? So you mean to tell me y'all didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this? You know what? Put stuff back in order. What is so hard about that? Can we put, it just irritates me till no end. And then they be looking at me like, oh, when I go ahead and do the stuff and I get my stuff done less than 2 hours into work, while y'all up here want to drag it out, baby, ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time for that, okay? I don't like that clutter. I don't like that mess. Let's run this ship smoothly. And I felt where Stormy was coming from. You know, she was stressed out. Stressed out. I said, Stormy, I would have dropped these motherfuckers and then came over there and went back home to my actual business that's paying me money. All right. Sad note, when they get to the part where they was gonna do the little talking on the panel and all that stuff, I said, girl, I wouldn't take no advice from none of them. I wouldn't take no advice from none of them. Maybe Stormy. I probably would have listened to probably what Tiffany had to say, because girl, you do work in business, you do work in you did at one point work in the chambers of commerce or whatever, but baby, commerce. Did I say chambers of commerce earlier? I meant commerce, but either way, girl, we didn't know exactly what you did, and maybe that would have been an opportunity for us to figure it out. But you probably told us and we just didn't remember because we just don't care about you like that. I'm just saying, I feel like the people probably would have benefited from Tiffany, you know. That's just me. That's me, because that's another view or perspective of business. So you get Tiffany up there, not Tiffany, you get Stormy, Letitia, and them come up there, Martell come up there, Kimmy, Maurice, all of them, right, and Marcel. And of course, they get up there talking. Martell gets in his feelings a little bit because, like I said, the whole time he was there, he was focused on what's going on with Melody. Oh, Melody here. Oh, she not coming up here and she not speaking. She not doing this. Man, then, why? Because then I'm going to speak. I said, oh, so you need Melody to be on the stage with you so you can speak? I understand having a fear of speaking and not being good at public speaking. I understand it because I'm the same way. But you use Melody. You use Melody as a crutch. And we already see who ran the business, and that is exactly why he's in the spot that he is now. But, you know, he came out there, he did the little Q&A and all that stuff. I literally gagged when that man asked Marceau about the venture capitalist situation, and he was stumbling, fumbling, bumbling over the words. He ain't know nothing. He never answered it because he didn't know it, okay? And I was just like, all right, you know, they was trying to make themselves sound smart. And you want to know the part that really just made me go like this? Excuse me? When Maurice got up there, because they was like, I know one question was asking, have you ever failed or whatever, opened a business and failed or something like that? Maurice said just about every business I opened up failed. I said, ooh, He was like, you gotta take that failure, you gotta run with it, you gotta keep going. I said, I mean, yeah, but dang, every time? Every time? And then it was another one talking about entrepreneurship or something like that. And then Maurice was like, you know what? See, I opened up my credit union business, Credit of America business, because, I had a credit score of 401. I said, excuse me. So you had this 401 credit score, and then that led you to open up your own business because you said, listen, ain't nobody finna give me nothing because my credit is not good. I said, don't get me wrong. Maybe he knew how to get that credit up. And so therefore he knows, since he knew how to get it up for himself, he was like, let me inspire myself to open up a business to help other people as well. Because I help me so me can help them. It was giving very much scammer tease, okay? It was very much scammer tease. And I'm sitting here like, all right, Maurice, I want you to be quiet before you incriminate yourself on something that might be there that you don't realize, okay? Because that's very much what it was giving. It was giving all that. Moving on from that, y'all saw the way Melody was just sit up in the audience like this. I was waiting for Melody to go like this and then to walk out. Because, she was sitting right there in front. But, of course, all of that happened, and that basically was the whole episode. But then we get to, I guess it was the next day, we get to Stormy and Courtney, and she tell him about the Expo. She tell him about what Maurice said. Not Maurice, but Marcel was saying. And he was like, what you gonna make me have to come down there and check him? You gonna check him? Now, I don't know why, but for some reason, I like that. Listen, I was here for Martell checking Tiffany, and I was here for Stormy telling her man, so you gonna check him? You want me to go down there and check him? I mean, I'll check him. I was like, something about that just did something to me. Like, what? Y'all finna do it after this? Because it was giving me that tease. I said, what is this? It's a little foreplay. I don't know. It was just, maybe it was just me. Calm down. But then, he was like, he told her, he took that opportunity to tell her the reason why he did not want to have any kids. And I had to go back and remember, she did want to have kids. He didn't want to have kids because he was traumatized by what happened to her. And the fact that she was sitting there acting like, oh, so that's the reason you was traumatized? It was that much blood. He literally said that in the first scene when they first talked about this earlier in the season. And I was like, is this re-edited? Like, what's going on? I was really confused, but at least now he's more open to the idea of surrogacy. He was like, yeah, we can have a family. I just don't want you to go through what you went through. Because he was scared that he was going to lose his wife. And that is traumatizing. That man said, it was a whole bunch of blood, picking it up and I said, oh my God. That scared anybody, all right? But back to the Black Expo. Did y'all see Madani? The way we saw Madani twice. We saw the stand out there when Kimmy and Melody was talking, and Kimmy was showing Melody where her stuff was all the way in the back. You saw the Madani post or whatever, and then when they came up there to do the panel, they was going through the logos, and you saw the Madani logo come back. I said, oh, so Destiny was there, and they didn't even show her. They literally X'd her out. They didn't even mention her. They said, edit it, cut, paste, delete. Control, Alt, delete on that. I said, well, Destiny, you really messed up that check that you really needed. Moving on from that, the girls have a meetup, minus Melody, and they want to talk about the Black Expo, okay? Tiffany want to feel some type of way because she just feels as though, she should have been invited, or she feels left out. And it's understandable. But at the same time, Tiffany, you were pregnant. I mean, you pregnant. Like they said, you up here talking on the phone with them, talking about some, even though the invitation was late, okay, and they never did have you in mind to put you on that panel, and I want Letitia to just say that. But girl, you was on bed rest and you on that phone saying, yeah, I having slight contractions here and there. I said, You get up on that stage and talking about, well, you know what? Because in venture capitalism, goddamn, I just had a contraction. Girl, talk about contractions. Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna tell you nothing. Anyway, moving on from that. So they get there, Letitia gets there, and they talk about the whole thing. And I'ma just say, moving on to the part that I want to talk about. The whole situation when it came down to, of course, you know, I really dislike when somebody's trying to talk to Letitia and then Kimmy wants to jump in and try to speak for Letitia or whatever. Because when Tiffany was putting out her grievances and how she felt about not being invited or not thought of, Kimmy want to be like, no, that's not it. That's not it. And that's not the case. And you're no, that's how she feels. And that literally was what was going on. Y'all didn't bring them up not one time unless it was edited out. Okay. Moving on from that one, we get to the Stormy of it all. And Stormy said, listen, I could have been doing what I had to do. You know, because Letitia started off and said, the whole situation with Marcel, the way that he came at you, now see, I didn't like the way that he did that, but I also had an issue with the way that you responded to him, you know, and all the stuff that you was doing. I mean, I can't tell you how to feel, but I'ma just tell you that I ain't like the way that you responded. That's the same thing. You're being contradictory. How you gonna tell me you can't tell me how I feel, but then gonna tell me how I should feel or how I should respond and react to the way that your husband come at me about some money that's very much unprofessional, but then gonna tell me that you didn't like it. You ain't like it. Okay, girl, so what? If you ain't like it or not, it ain't up to you to like, okay? You wasn't the one that was told at the very last minute that they owe money, and it wasn't about the $100. The $100 is nothing, baby. I'll give you $100 right now. Stormy could have gave you $100 right then and there, but it's the fact that they want to keep missing the point of the matter being that this is totally unprofessional. And then for the way Letitia was like, what's your problem? What's your problem, girl? Because I would expect you to respond in a way that's professional because this is a business atmosphere. I said your husband didn't come over there to Stormy in a professional way. A lot of the stuff that was going on with that whole expo was unprofessional and should have been cleared up before the thing happened. So for you to come at her and talk about her response was unprofessional, mind you, the expo hasn't even started. The expo hadn't even started. Talk about something. I'm going to tell my husband, okay, Ann, she could say that. It ain't like she said all of that in front of everybody when the guests got there. No, she said that before your event started. And your husband is the one that is 100% in the wrong for this. And yeah, you can say she did a lot, whatever, with her reaction, but she's very valid in how she feels and what she said. Because at the end of the day, you do not go up to a vendor or somebody that you have up in your at your little event and tell them the day of a couple of hours or a few minutes before it start, you know you're supposed to pay this amount of money and I haven't gotten it yet, when you know damn well that you didn't tell nobody that they was supposed to pay because none of the other people was going to pay. You heard what Letitia said. I didn't know that we was going to tell them to pay or whatever because we didn't bring it up at the meeting. I told them that it was going to be sponsorships and they can take it if they want to. They ain't saying nothing about paying. So if that's the case, how come we over here talking to Stormy and telling her that she needs to pay $100? And then you're going to say it, that's not even the issue. That's part of the issue, but also it's the timing of it all. That's very much unprofessional, and that would piss me off too. That would put a nasty taste in my mouth as well and be like, no, I can't do business with people like this. Because that'll make me feel like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is not how we do things. This is not how we do things. Girl, that was a bubble that just came out of my mouth. Wow, what was that? Anyway, girl, did y'all see that that lady video? What is her name? Pinky Doll or whatever. She be like, yes, 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 yes. Ice cream, ice cream. Gang, 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 gang. Yes, yes, yes. Meow, meow. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ice cream. Gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang, gang. You know what? She ain't hurt nobody, but she making a whole bunch of money off of that stuff. Girl, I used to come across her stuff, and I said, I'm just surprised that it's just not getting on Twitter and she getting real big from that. But baby, that's funny. And Letitia get mad. Letitia really got mad. And the way that you coming at her because Stormy was going off. And you want to know what? I'm not mad at Stormy because Stormy said, you're not going to tell me how I'm supposed to talk. And I'm going to say whatever it is that I need to say, however it is that I need to say it. Y'all was unprofessional. Y'all was messed up. Your events was ass. Okay, that's just what it was. Your event was ass. All right? And if you can't stand the heat of how people going to tell you what it is, baby, then get out the kitchen and don't do no goddamn expo no more. Okay? That's just what it is. Well, I'm finna leave because don't ever bring me to nothing like this. If it's going to be something like this, this is not what I'm here for. Letitia, get up and go. Letitia just wanted to get up and she just wanted to show her ass. That's literally what it is. She said, look at this waist and look at this ass looking plump. Okay? You see this bodying. I said, that's fine. If that's all you wanted to do, Letitia, that's all you had to do. Okay? You ain't have to go through all of this. Ugh. Y'all seen her in the confessional sit there with that green jumpsuit on and them boobs was just like really just. I said, girl, put the Martell that you sit there like that. Cause you know you do whatever he say, right? He let you put that on like that. Okay. Good, but you a mom. That outfit though. But you a mom. Anyway, y'all, that was Love and Marriage Huntsville. I will see y'all in September for the next half of this show. Let's get on to Love and Marriage Detroit. Peace, y'all.